Well, the 2025 Kentucky Derby is almost here. A 20-horse field ready to run there. 151st Run of the Roses at Churchill Downs. I can't wait to see it. All eyes will be on Journalism, coming as one of those favorites. Not only one there when it comes to getting attention, Sovereignty as well, along with others doing that first leg of the Triple Crown. But taking a look at some of those morning line odds here when it comes to all those in that field, there you see it, Citizen Bull. Inside pole in that #1 spot there, looking, of course, to be the first winner from that spot since 1986. Journalism drew the #8 post there, while Sovereignty coming out at 18. And when it comes to them, no strangers to maybe coming from behind. That's been their running styles, if we've seen in the past. Well, nobody better here, running with the Roses here. Let's bring in our horse experts, and of course, Tim Doyle with the money bag, and Coach Avery Johnson doing it as always. And Coach, I'll start with you. Journalism, the morning line favorite here. In your eyes, real deal or fake news?
I'm going with a little bit of fake news here. I'm impressed with Journalism overall, but I just think the strength of those fields, you know, San Felipe, which is a prep race, and obviously the Santa Anita Derby, I don't think those races line up as strong as some of the others with some of his competition that ran in the Florida Derby, Louisiana Derby, Arkansas Derby. I just think he got away with some marginal fractions overall. Again, a small field, really an untroubled run. So I just think because of that, I think our friend Journalism, and I know you're a journalism major, Brandon, but I see it as a little bit of fake news right now.
Okay, fake news, we'll take that. Tim, can you get us on the same page as pen and paper with Journalism? Give us your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm against betting horses that come out of very small fields, because you start racing as a thoroughbred at 2 years old, and these horses now at 3 are still relatively young and developing. And to Coach's point, Journalism last out in the Santa Anita Derby broke from the 1 hole. And as you see the tape right here, he was able to get 3 wide. You know, there's not too many times you have a horse from a 1 hole. Check out how small the field is, by the way. 5-horse field. I mean, now you're going to be going up against 19 other horses trying to navigate traffic. Now, I will say this about Journalism. The record, 5 starts, 4 wins and a third. I get it. I love Umberto Respoli. Michael McCarthy's a very solid trainer. He's not an all-timer, and we have some all-timers in this race that we will talk about in a second. But I look at this trip in the Santa Anita Derby, whenever you have a 1 horse, right, the fear is always getting locked on that inside, not able to get out. He was able to get out in the Santa Anita Derby. He was able to go 3 wide. So much of this, Brandon, is the trip, meaning, does the horse avoid trouble? Does he get blocked? Does he get bumped into? So there's a lot of racing luck involved. Last year's winner, Mystic Dant, slithered up that rail to win the Derby. Not sure if he's the best horse, but got the best trip in that particular race. There's a lot to like about Journalism. I just don't like him.
All right, you don't like Journalism? That's okay. But a guy that may have some interest in 2 horses here, Bob Baffert, making it back to Churchill Downs here, Tim. And he has 2 entries I mentioned, Citizen Bull, but one you like a lot here in Rodriguez. Why so high on him?
Yeah, I think this is a horse that's getting better and better now. Honestly, Journalism beat him a few starts back, but horses change so much. I just talked about their youth. Rodriguez blew me away in the Wood Memorial. Went to the lead and got stronger as the race went on. Now, you see him here. Here's the 1 hole. Now, he's hugging the rail, but watch how he opens up late. Like, when I see his stride, Avery and Brandon, this is a horse that I don't think necessarily needs to be on the lead. It can be 3rd. It could be 4th. I thought he really started to open up his stride. Look, the jockey's not even whipping him. So hand riding the horse through the stretch. So he's got plenty of left. I think this is a horse that's getting better. And by the way, guess who's back? Bobby Baffert's been suspended the last few years because, well, not going to go into any of that. 3-year suspension there. And he already has 6. I repeat, 6 Derby wins. Guy knows how to do it. I just wonder, Brandon, is that all natural, that white hair? You know, it's kind of Will Ferrell-ish in Eastbound and Down. I think he puts a little color in that white hair and make it even whiter. Guy's a fantastic trainer, and this is a horse on the rise.
Hey, look, if you got it, why not flaunt it? I mean, I would too. I mean, it looks good. I'm not going to hate him at all. But when it comes to him, Avery here, he's looking to maybe make some history with Mike Smith. the oldest jockey when it comes to winning the Kentucky Derby. Can that happen for him?
It definitely can happen. I mean, once you line up in the starting gate and you're one of 20 horses, anything can happen. You know, there's 15, 20,000 racehorses born, and only 20 of them make it to the gate. So it can happen. With Mike Smith, you know, he's won the Derby twice. I believe this is his 29th mount or 28th mount in the Derby. So he has a tremendous amount of experience. I remember, you know, when he won his last Derby, it's always sensational because he's such a great guy. When you see him in restaurants or in the morning at the track, he's so accommodating, friendly, signs every autograph. So if he were to win it, it couldn't happen to a better person because he's given so much to this game.
Speaking of giving so much, I mean, Avery, you know this better than anybody out here. Usually this time of year, we're talking Todd Pletcher and Mike Rapoli, their horse. And, of course, this year it's Grande. While he may not have the hype of Forte or fierceness that we have seen in the past, why should it be so optimistic when it comes to Pletcher and this horse?
Yeah, very optimistic about Grande. That's how I like my coffee. I like it Grande style. But if you look at him in that race when he finished second to Rodriguez in the Wood, man, he was very impressive coming down the stretch. I think he's getting better and better. He's got a legendary trainer. Of course, Mike Rapoli, the self-appointed commissioner of horse racing. Mike has had about, 10 starts in the Derby, and, you know, 2 have scratched, unfortunately. But he's coming back with Grande. Not as much hype as horses like Fierceness or Forte, but I think this horse has a real shot, and I'll explain to you in a few minutes.
You like Grande, okay. All right, maybe give you 2 cups of that, you know, before the actual race happens there. Tim, you got a long shot for us there. Of course, maybe a name that most of us might not be thinking of, but you have one?
Yeah, last year we got double-digit odds with Mystic Dan, and I think you always got to sprinkle on someone that is going to be close to the pace. And I've been impressed with Coal Battle. Now, when you look at the connections, jockey, trainer, not necessarily household names like a Mike Smith or a Todd Pletcher. Juan Vargas is more of a journeyman. His trainer's a guy who's kind of been around the block. He's won 4 of his 5 races, but he's been closer on to the lead. So in my eyes, Brandon and Avery, this horse could be sitting the trip. Could be sitting on the rail like Mystic Dan last year and saving all the ground. He could be sitting third on the outside of a speed duel. Like at 30-1, I think you're getting tremendous value here. And by the way, the horse has faced real competition down in Arkansas and has not embarrassed himself. I think you're getting great value here in a horse that could clearly benefit from the trip. Here's Coal Battle winning the Rebel. And then in the Arkansas Derby, that was a crazy pace. Horse made a move and flattened out, but still finished in the money. There's so much racing luck that's involved in the Derby, but if you can get a clean trip and avoid a lot of the trouble, give yourself a chance to win.
All right, 31 as you mentioned there, and 5 wins in 8 starts. So we'll see how that pans out for your long shot. But fellas, before I let you go, I need a trifecta, and Coach, you get the first shot at this one.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going with my buddy Mike Rapoli and Grande, Todd Pletcher. And when you look at this horse, I think, you know, horses like Rodriguez, Citizen Bull, those horses are going to be on the front journalism. They're going to burn each other up. They're going to go 45 in the first 4, maybe 110, 109. They're going to be going too fast, and it's going to set up perfectly for my trifecta. Grande, who I believe is going to win the race, Publisher, who's a maiden who hasn't won a race, and Sandman. That's going to set up really nicely down the stretch. And my other 2 horses, Sovereignty, I really liked how he finished second in the Florida Derby. The Florida Derby Tappan Street winner, his name is Tappan Street. He got scratched with an ankle injury. And then at my Daytona, the Japanese horse that won the UAE Derby. Those are 2 other horses I'll be using in my superfecta box.
All right, we like that. I took my notes, Coach. All right, Tim, what you got? I know you got something in the bag.
Yeah, you know what I really want is a ticket to the race, because here's the thing. I got no shame in my game, Brandon. All right, I will ride Avery Johnson's coattails for the next 30 years, okay? Like, he's like, oh, yeah, Tim's with us again. That's okay. I can't go this year. My daughter Rose is making her first communion, and I want to make sure I keep my marriage together, and I don't want to miss that, okay? Some things are more important. I like Rodriguez. I think the horse is getting better. You got Bob Baffert. My uncle Tim, God rest his soul, never missed a day of the track. He was Mike Smith's, I think, bodyguard or jockey agent in the 80s. I don't know. He was definitely doing some shady stuff there with Mike. But anyway, Mike's been around the block. He's won a lot of big races. I got him on top. Cole Battle, I think, is going to be in there, especially turning for home. Sandman, Sovereignty are both going to be closing. Coach mentioned them. And then I have everyone. Then we need bombs. That's the fun thing about the Derby, Brandon. You can bet a little and win a lot. You can hit a trifecta the first 3 finishers. But if you want to get goofy and pick the first 4 finishers, you know what that's called? A superfecta. So, yes, you can sprinkle a little bit of money and win some big dough, as the best 2 minutes in sports is right around the corner.
2 quick ones here. Can you put the shades back on? Because you're giving me Ace Rothstein vibes from Casino. Coach, what you think? I mean, look at our guy, Tim.
Hey, finishing first. He's coming up the rail with those glasses. He would win best dressed at the Kentucky Derby.
And real quick, Coach, what's the fit for the Derby? What we got? I asked you last year. What are we wearing this year?
Yeah. I'm going to send you some pictures.
Okay.
Some photos. I got the fit. Miss Cassandra, my wife,
I do it.
has dressed me from head to toe. I'm ready to go.
Shout out to Miss Cassandra.
This is like Derby on Thursday. This is just an appetizer.
Look at him. Tim, we'll be watching the same place at home while he's there having fun, per usual. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. As always, those two dial it in. Don't forget, the closer we get, you might want to check out Sportsline. Head over to sportsline.com to join the promo code. You see it, horses. 7 days free if you join now.